Welcome to the Teach-Lead-Innovate Podcast, where we dive deep into the heart of innovation, leadership, and transformative ideas shaping the future of education and technology. Each episode is a journey into the minds of visionary educators, thinkers, and leaders who are not just talking about change, they're living it. Real people leading real change. This is where passion meets practice and ideas come to life. Welcome to the Teach-Lead-Innovate Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Teach, Lead, Innovate. It is Wednesday, November 27th, and today is not just any episode. It is a milestone. We are celebrating 1 year of this podcast. Over the past year, we've explored teaching strategies, leadership insights, and cutting-edge innovations. And I want to take a moment to thank every one of you for listening, sharing, and growing alongside this community. This podcast began with the dream of just expanding my own horizons and making connections and sharing best practices and ideas and learning myself. And it's such a wonderful thing to see that we are now at the 1 year mark. So thank you again. And here's to many more years of inspiring episodes ahead. All right, so let's dive into today's Walk the Talk Wednesday, where we are going to focus on actionable leadership behaviors and teaching practices that align with core values and principles. So today's topic is going to be creating a culture of feedback. And I believe this principle is at the heart of strong leadership and transformative teaching. So let's start with leadership. Effective leaders actively seek and act on feedback from their teams. You can't have it any other way. You need that feedback as a leader. Research by Stone and Heen highlight that feedback fosters trust and drives professional growth. However, the way feedback is received is just as critical as how it is given. Leaders who model humility and a growth mindset, core tenets of Carol Dweck's research, create an environment where feedback is not feared, but valued. So here's a practical way to walk the talk on feedback. Conduct a feedback audit. Schedule regular check-ins with your team. Ask for input on specific leadership actions. And most importantly, follow through on the suggestions that you receive. Transparency about how feedback informs decisions builds credibility. All right, now for educators, for teachers in the classroom, creating a culture of feedback transforms learning. According to Hattie, feedback has one of the highest impacts on student achievement when it is clear, actionable, and timely. In practice, this means shifting from feedback that's purely evaluative to feedback that's formative, a tool for actual improvement. So, strategy that you can implement this week is the 3-step feedback model. Okay, so the first thing is acknowledge effort. Highlight what students are doing well. And what's really important is that you want to be very specific. I think we all grew up with it. Great job, awesome, amazing, keep it up. But Hattie also shows that in order for feedback to be meaningful, it has to be really specific, right? So if a student did really well on a reading comprehension exam, that's where you want to talk about, hey, I really think you did a great job on your comprehension this week. Great job. And be very specific, though, in that feedback. That's what's important. Then also, next step is identify next steps. Offer specific, achievable goals for improvement moving forward. So don't just stop. Oh, you did a wonderful job on this geometry, on the unit that we're doing in geometry and on this specific task. I will also want you to try this, try to achieve this. Let's step it up a notch. So identify next steps. And then empower student ownership. Ask students to reflect on their progress and plan their next steps. That's taking it to a whole new level. You are going to be you're the facilitator. You are going to help lead them, but now it's giving them the ball. The ball's in their court, and now they're going to do with it that feedback what they will, and they're going to plan their next steps, and it is going to be so empowering for that student. So this model not only fosters student growth, but also aligns with core values of respect, responsibility, and continuous improvement. Okay. So how will you walk the talk this week? Whether you're leading a team or a classroom, remember that creating a culture of feedback is about modeling the values that you want to see in others. We're not perfect. We all make mistakes, and I think it's important to give yourself grace. But it's about continual improvement in oneself and reflection. I'd love to hear your stories of implementing these practices. Share them with me on social media, send me an email, whatever is easy for you. Okay, so thank you for tuning in to this special 1-year anniversary episode of Teach, Lead, Innovate. Again, I want to thank you all for listening, for tuning in, and for helping to grow this podcast into something that is meaningful for all of our listeners. So here's to another year of learning, leading, and innovating together. And until next time, stay inspired, stay positive, and have the best day ever.